Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Ben.
And we are AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we are watching Season 1, Episode 12 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. I feel like things are about to get really interesting. And I have a feeling there might be like a big episode coming up. I mean, we got left with Geto and Mahito were on top of a school. And it was the school that Junpei went to. And they created some form of veil, like Ichiji did at the detention center. And this veil was to, I believe it had a few different things it could do. I think I remember correctly that people couldn't necessarily leave it, like the students, but that it could only allow a lower level Jujutsu sorcerer to come in. So, who is that? Itadori, who just showed up at the very end. Itadori. So, quick things that were important in the last episode that kind of got us to where we are. Itadori went over to Junpei's house and they had a really nice time with his mom. And it was a really great scene. I was really feeling it. I was like, this is going to be a good friendship. Itadori is going to basically save Junpei from possibly falling into some bad stuff that he shouldn't get into. Because, you know, it's going to be kind of hard for him to ever come back once you've killed someone. So I was like, oh, Itadori is going to be able to save him with this friendship. They have such a good chemistry together. And then Junpei was asking the questions of, would Itadori even be able to kill someone if he was a bad Jujutsu sorcerer? Which, in my mind, is basically what Junpei was probably moving towards becoming. And then the mom died, and I was very, very upset. I was like, where did this finger come from? I believe Mahito told Junpei that the finger came from someone else. Someone that wanted to kind of mess with him. So he figures that it's, I think, the last one of his bullies that's still alive. Because 3 of the bullies were killed by Mahito in the movie theater, with him not even knowing their relation to Junpei or who Junpei was. And now the last bully, I'm pretty sure he thinks he's the reason that his mom's dead. And so he has gone to the school dressed in, I believe he said, his mom's leather jacket to avenge her now with using whatever powers he has been given that we haven't gotten to see yet. Well, we got to see him. I think the guy was lifted up in the air and started having all these purple spots all over him. So, yeah, I think we're about to see some kind of fight. I don't really know how Itadori would stack up against Junpei. Obviously, it also includes fighting someone he probably doesn't want to fight or kill. The other thing that I believe they mentioned was that they were trying to get Mahito and Geto on top of the school are trying to get Sukuna and Itadori to make a new pact. So they're hoping that this situation forces that into happening. And they're willing to get rid of a few Sukuna fingers in order to have this happen. Which begs the question, how many fingers do they have? You know? If they can just kind of use them as ploys into having something happen more in their favor later down the line, they must have more. They must be kind of disposable to some extent in order to get the end goal. Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen now. Think it's going to be a fight, and I feel like this next episode is going to be really good.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to see them fight. I liked the idea of them being friends. He's not going to wait. What was that eye glare? I loved it. That's a good motivation.
Yeah.
Does Ichiji have some power I don't know about? Something he's able to do? And that fits the intro with like the underwater scene so well. It's like he's a jellyfish, he's poisonous, or he could hurt you. Is there like gonna be an underwater theme throughout? Like, are all of the characters kind of compared to a certain sea creature? Or was that just something fun that they did there? Or is his attack like a jellyfish sting? I like that we got to see another Jujutsu sorcerer that we didn't know.
Yeah,
fighting
I like
with,
that too.
With Nanami. Must be strong, and Nanami would not have left him like that and said, hey, you can take care of this, without having some degree of faith that he would have been able to do that.
He said he'd recommend him as a grade 1, right?
Yeah. I wish we had gotten to see what his cursed energy looked like and stuff. I want to know more about Geto.
Yeah.
I really do. And how he met Mahito and stuff. This music is nice, ramping things up. Oh, so cool. It's protective. I like that. His mannerism and face has completely changed.
Very similar to what Mahito has been saying to him.
Has he been practicing this whole time? Nice.
Complete 180, right?
Sir, directly. So like Fushiguro.
Back into the school.
So Itadori doesn't know that that life is basically already gone?
So cool that you see the...
That effect of the tears. This is... Oh no, no, no. Is he gonna kill him now that he's done with him or whatever?
その次ぐらいにはバカだから。だから死ぬんだよ。無意転変。
No!
さあラウンド2だ。順平、今直してやるから。
なんだ。
何でもする。俺のことは好きにしてだから、俺の心臓を直した時みたいに。
断る。あの縛りはしっかり忘れているな。愉快。教授も未来もすがろうと何も救えないとは。
他人を直すのは専門外か。
この上なく惨めだぞ小僧。
Dang!
あ
The visuals for this.
Yeah.
こいつらは呪いなんだ。
Mm-hmm.
Ah, もう死んだ。ちょっと乱暴に形変えたからね。こんなもんかな。けど残念、効かないよ。魂の形を保って。
Blood.
Why?
形ごと叩かれた。知覚しているのか。魂の輪郭を。
Oh my god.
今まで俺の口から出た言葉は全て嘘だったんじゃないかと思えるくらい、腹の底から出た本音。殺してやる。
Halfway over.
払うの間違いだろう。虎杖裕二は自らの命を顧みない。殺したいほど憎い相手を殺せない時、彼は宿儺に頼るだろうか。
Jesus Christ.
ならばぐちゃぐちゃになるまで叩き潰す。
Jesus.
殺すためのインスピレーションを体現しろ。
Yo.
I didn't know he could do like a physical. I thought it could be just fleshy.
The animation of the show is insane, bro.
いつまでも伸び続けるわけじゃねえだろ。
Fuck. He just grabbed onto it anyway.
Look at the holes in his hands. I was expecting blood from him, not from shit. Okay. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5 holes in his body now, because the 2 from Junpei.
さっさと変わんなよ。無意転変。
What?
俺の魂に触れるか。一度は許す。二度はない。部をわきまえろ。知れ者が。
殺してやるって。
Oh! Oh my god. Oh my god. What an arrival. Oh my god.
ナナミ。
現 現状報告を。
二人助けられなかった。
どこまでも他人のこと。まずは君の体のことを。
俺は平気。いっぱい穴開いてっけど。
平気の意味。
なんだピンピンしてるじゃん。
7-3 sorcerer.
虎杖君。
俺が殴った。
いつ？
いっちゃん最初。
私の攻撃は奴に効きません。
なんで？
理由は説教の時に。
I'll explain while I'm lecturing you.
しかし奴の動きは止められます。
And then Itadori can finish him?
ここで確実に払います。
おい！
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I want to see the exorcism. I don't think I've seen how a Jujutsu sorcerer does it. I mean, I've seen it kind of, but like, they all might look slightly different. The first one that comes to mind is when Nobara and Itadori were inside that building as the Nobara, like, trial, and it jumped out the window. But then when I think about the detention center that was, Sukuna in the vessel, you know? So it's like different than a Jujutsu sorcerer exercising it. And then when Nanami fought those other creatures on the roof, those were like humans. They weren't actual, like, I guess they were curses at that point, but I just feel like it's different. And then like Jogo wasn't killed.
Correct.
He was kind of sent on his way with his head.
It's always a hard episode for me to watch.
Because of Junpei? That was, I was wanting the future that Itadori wanted.
Okay, that was episode 12 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
So, what I've learned now is that scene in the intro where Itadori is hanging out with everyone, that was his fantasy. That's what he wishes his life right now could be like, where he could be with all of these people, these strong teachers, these strong classmates, and get to enjoy being with them and not just have to like fight all the time for his life and for their lives. That they could have some just downtime where they could just be together. Because he wants to save everyone. He loves people. He loves people's hearts and their souls. And I don't think he's one to like super judge someone. So obviously, even if he can't get along perfectly with someone, I feel like he'd still want to hang out with them. And now I know that that scene with Junpei there, that's what he wanted. Because they showed us his imagery in his head of Junpei being in the uniform and basically on his team with Nobara and Fushiguro. And that's so... I was like, maybe they can save him. Maybe they can save him. And then as soon as Mahito said, oh, that he died already or something, I think he was either impressed that he hadn't died yet, or
I think it was
he died already, because he said he wasn't.
He went more rough with him.
He went more rough, yeah.
Yo,
and it was such a
Mahito,
cool
bro.
freaking curse techniques that Junpei was using. I want to see more of that Shikigami, you know, the jellyfish. I want to see more of that, and now I can't.
Kudos and like honestly like great voice acting from Junpei, his voice actor. Like when he was like yelling at Itadori, like if people have hearts, like how do you justify the person who did that to, you know, his mom, or him and his mom? And I think that like the way Itadori kind of like was able to get perspective on himself in that moment and be like, I don't know what you're going through right now, explain it to me. Because Itadori was like, why would you do this? What would your mom think, kind of thing. Like he didn't know. And then after he found out, like it seemed like they were kind of coming to an understanding, like come.
He totally, I think he would have done it too. I wasn't expecting Mahito to kill him, but that's on me. That's me being like silly, because obviously...
I don't think you're being silly, because I think that in the anime intro, it is very like straightforward in the fact that, oh, this character, we're gonna see this character at the high school with them, and they're gonna interact. That is going to happen at some point.
But even if I hadn't seen that, I still would have liked the idea or been a fan of the idea of that character staying.
Yeah.
But then again, why would Mahito give those powers to someone that then could be used against him? You know, that's a silly way of thinking. Of course, he wouldn't let him so easily go over to the other side and fight alongside.
I don't even think Mahito thought that far ahead. I think he was just
You don't think he always thought about killing Junpei?
No, I do. I don't think he thought like, oh, Junpei might go to the other side. I'll kill him. I think he was just like, I'm gonna kill him right now. Like he's done his part. I don't need him anymore.
It was probably like, as soon as he gets Itadori near me, I will kill him.
Something like that, man. And it seemed like Junpei like acknowledged, like he said, like Mahito's a good person. He's a good, and then he was like good person, and then like had the flashbacks to him killing humans and like transfiguring them, idol transfiguration. And it seemed like he, right before death, realized. And then you have to make my man, after he's transformed, like say like why, like to Yuji.
He had already gone through so much suffering. I mean, he was preyed upon because of the fact that he was hurt so much that he had started to seek and desire hurting the people that hurt him. And I think that's why he was so easily preyed upon in this instance and used.
And you saw what one good moment with somebody like Itadori did to him, and I think like he was a crazy well written character. I love how much like we got like with understanding his character backstory, but also like his interests, like how he views movies, his mom, and the balls to do that and then kill off a character. Like what else is going to make you hate and feel Yuji's and Itadori's hate towards Mahito more than this? I was scared of Yuji for a second when
when nothing else would have brought him to the place he is internally at the moment other than this unfortunate thing. Well, if he had killed anyone or transfigured anyone in front of Itadori, maybe, but just the fact that he had made a friend out of him and was feeling that mutual kind of friendship, he wanted to protect him, he wanted to fight alongside him, that obviously was even harsher.
He was manipulated. He was tricked. He didn't deserve any of it.
I mean, well, how would a human know that doesn't know anything about this universe know exactly who's bad and who's good if they're all just getting dropped into it so suddenly? Obviously, there were signs that he was bad beforehand and the things he was doing were bad, but I don't know if he fully grasped or let himself think about Mahito being bad until that moment when he was thinking bad person and he started to like think back to everything.
Definitely.
It's like he had blinders on.
Well, I think when we first met Junpei, he said something like, if I had a button to kill everybody that I hate, I don't think I'd press it. But if I had a button to kill everybody who hates me, I would. You saw the scene in the movie theater with the same people who bullied him and they were just talking it up in the movie theater. Like, in that moment, like, of course killing people's wrong, like, duh. But, like, in that moment, if trying to look from Junpei's perspective, these people, like, bullied the shit out of him. And this one person came in and subsequently ended that bullying and then was, like, could offer you a potential to not have to go through that pain again. So, like, I interpreted it in Junpei's mind as, like, oh, this is good because this is happiness for me. I don't have to go through this suffering anymore. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't think he even thought that deep about it,
Yeah, and the moment with the mother had to happen as well, because I feel like he totally would have gone to Itadori's side of things if he had had more time with Itadori and the mom hadn't died. Yeah. That kind of anguish of losing basically your one person who's been beside you that whole time, that made life better and made every day better, made you feel like you could continue living, and maybe that you shouldn't hate everyone and maybe you should believe that people have hearts. Yeah. That I am very disappointed is not the right word, because obviously story-wise and like where it's going, what it did for Itadori's character is great and brilliant for his character. But I selfishly wanted that character to survive.
Oh, me too. Oh my god, me too. I like that's why it, like, even like on the rewatch too, it's like it hurts so much because like falling in love with the character again, just like as a written character, and then you're like knowing.
That must have been, yeah. I'm sure it's a whole different dynamic in your head when you're watching a character you like that you know is gonna die.
Yeah, man.
That's a much different experience, but it's still very, very valid of an experience. Very interesting in how it's different.
It was fun to like play along and like be like, what do you think if Junpei and Fushiguro are gonna meet?
I was that's gonna be such an interest. I mean, they're both Shikigami users. So.
Yeah.
I did gotta say, like, obviously I think I brought up that I'll miss not seeing more of the jellyfish kind of imagery and how it's drawn, but just the idea of having a Shikigami that's like very protective and like could go below him to protect him from his fall.
That's pretty cool.
It's just the whole idea is really nice. I'm wondering if Fushiguro has any others that I don't know about yet that are more shield type, because it seems like he has the one that he can help him fly. Then he had the wolves, and then he has the frogs with little wings. I'm wondering if he has any that are more like protection or shield like. That'll be cool to see if he has more.
This one, Junpei's Shikigami did have an offensive technique. It was like poison.
Yeah.
Seemingly did nothing to Itadori.
Yeah, and neither do any of the holes in his body.
I think that like holes in his body are holes in his body. It doesn't seem like at the moment he's being affected by the poison though, which is interesting. What do you think about the Sukuna moment when Mahito tried to touch Idol Transfiguration?
Oh, I loved that. I mean, I especially loved that he quoted back to the moment that they were both laughing at Itadori, and he was like, "That is the only reason I let you touch me this one time without instantly annihilating you." And that kind of us being able to see the comparison of power there, of reestablishing, again, guys, this curse is not as strong and scary and intimidating as a full-on Sukuna would be. It's not.
Yeah, very
And
true.
if we're like nervous about Nanami and Itadori both getting to take out Mahito, then imagine Sukuna, you know? It's a whole different level. And that in itself is crazy because now they have concocted this plan that Nanami's technique doesn't even work against Mahito, so he basically needs Itadori to also be helping in this.
Yeah. Watching Itadori like react to Junpei's death and like the drawing was amazing. Gave me Hunter x Hunter vibes a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, totally it did.
And then like how he just went like full out like I'm going to kill you. Like like what I'm about to say contradicts or like everything that I've ever said before. I'm going to kill you.
I mean, it was like drawn similar to like the specific scene you're talking about from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
Both like the emotions that were alongside it and like similar in how he was drawn. I actually thought that instantly when I was watching. It gave me interesting comparisons between characters in two different series too, on a personality level. Gosh. Okay. I was right going into this episode that it was going to be a good episode. But I feel like next episode, now we get the real like fight between, I guess, the people that are more evenly matched.
Yeah.
I don't know if Junpei and Itadori would have ended up being evenly matched. I mean, they weren't really. I feel like Itadori was definitely overclassing him, especially because the poison wasn't seemingly working. I feel like that fight only ended because Junpei was emotionally compromised by Itadori being a good friend.
Itadori just let Junpei like stab him. Mm-hmm. The animation when Mahito like changes his the form of his soul to like the like blades was nuts, and it was so cool. And like I like right when that happened, I was like, oh my god, what can't this man do?
Yeah, and once Mahito was like, wait, he punched my actual soul.
Yeah.
That's the moment I was like, ooh, now we know that there is a way. And like it was like it gave you like a little nugget of like, this is what the future has to hold for you kind of thing, you viewer. One question I do have. So the wounds that Itadori has right now, how is he still alive and fighting with those? I don't think Sukuna's healing them, right? He still has the holes in his body. They're still drawn there.
Correct.
So, like, how is he still... Is it just resolve? Are they just trying to say it's resolve at this point?
I mean, you saw how he reacted to Junpei's death.
Like, I know he has a lot of will, but still, he has, like, 5 giant holes in his body in the chest region, and then, like, 3 in each hand.
You are very correct.
Blood loss is a thing.
Very correct.
I'm like, is he being healed? Is it like in Demon Slayer? I don't know, like controlling their breathing and like keeping the. But then again, like that would mean that he's like really strong compared to some of.
I compare
in Demon
it.
Slayer.
I think of it as like I don't even feel the pain right now.
Yeah.
Or like I'm thankful for the pain. It's keeping me conscious. Like kind of like
Gotcha.
I think it's like I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Like I thought that might be the case to some degree. I just thought maybe the injuries he sustained were too much. But then again,
Valid.
like I think about like Deku in My Hero and stuff. He sustains a lot of serious injuries and still keeps using basically like broken limbs. I am not very far in My Hero, so I don't have any knowledge of like current Deku. Only like season 1 and 2 Deku.
Yeah.
So I could be saying something that's like totally not the case anymore, but
I get what you mean though. I think it is truly like at the moment with the information given, of course, like just like it's resolve. Like that's what I take away from it. I think he at the end of the day though is a person.
That's what I'm like. You're a human.
Yeah.
I know you're a vessel, but still.
I mean, like, you saw like, what they call him, the 7-3 sorcerer.
The 7-3 sorcerer.
Yeah. But you saw Nanami like ask him like, what like, are you okay? Like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, you're not okay. Like, that's not okay. So like, there's acknowledgement of it in show. It's not like It's not like, oh, I just got stabbed a bunch and I'm not gonna be hurt, you know?
But I also love that being a line between Nanami and Itadori of don't forget to acknowledge that you are also important here.
Yeah.
And that your safety and what's going on physically with you is important and pertinent to this battle and the continuation of this battle and also the continuation of you being here. So I did like that being an interaction and being included.
It's consistent, right? So like right when Nanami arrived, he was like, "Give me like an update," and Itadori was immediately like, "I didn't save 2 people." Like, and
was like,
Nanami
that's not.
Yeah, like immediately other people. Like Itadori doesn't give a shit that he has holes in him.
He does not.
He wants to kill.
All he can think about is the fact that he didn't. His life mission of saving people, he failed.
So one thing that I don't know the answer to at the moment, like given up to episode 12, when Itadori first saw Mahito, did he say a human? Is he a human or something on the lines of that?
He said something like that.
So he said something.
And that's when the lines that started to happen were about bad person.
Yeah.
So the language was definitely talking about Mahito as if he was a human.
Yeah.
And I think that's where both Junpei and Itadori, I guess, their shortcoming is as they talk about curses in a way that humanizes them, which then in the end got Junpei killed.
Yeah, but he does then acknowledge later on, like once Sukuna and Mahito are like laughing at him, that he's like, they are both curses.
Yeah, it's like he had to have that realization, that harsh realization.
Like we just heard Itadori's like motives and what he would and wouldn't do and what he thinks about killing and stuff, and then he just completely was like, all that's out the window. I'm killing this man.
It's like not only did he need his memory jogged that what was in front of him was not an innocent human life to be saved, So he needed his memory jogged about that. So obviously he did by kind of telling himself that it was a curse in front of him. And then also Junpei and what happened with that in front of him. Don't think the plan to get the new pact. I think either the window is over because Nanami just showed up. So I think the window of a second pact being made between Itadori and Sukuna is past. It's not going to happen.
I believe the only person there who knows about the pact is Sukuna. Because Itadori doesn't remember.
Well, no, I mean, Geto and Mihito knew that there must be a pact.
Already?
Didn't they say on the roof we need to force Itadori and Sukuna into making
a pact?
Oh, I thought
it could be a new. You might be
remembering that they said new pact, but they could have just meant pact. And in my head, I'm like, oh, a new pact.
Yeah.
And then
you could be right though, for sure, definitely.
I think they were under the impression there must be a pact for Sukuna to not have like fully taken over and or fully killed Itadori, because Itadori still has a beating heart.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it was fixed. So.
That's true.
So I'm sure
they're... No, you're right. You're right.
In their minds, there must be something that's kind of controlling the actions of Sukuna not being at the forefront all the time. So it might have been just them inferring that that was the case.
Definitely.
But I think that time has come and gone now.
Yeah, I get that.
So are they going to try to force another situation to make another pact happen?
I don't know. It depends on what happens in the next episode, you know?
Yeah, and I don't... At that point, I'm like, how would they even convince Sukuna to make another pact? Because it didn't seem like he cared enough to make another one.
Do you think Sukuna would be on their side?
I think he would be on their side verbally only if they had a way to help him in any way, and then instantly kill them as soon as he didn't need them anymore.
I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all I have.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.